Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me right now is Randy Selman. He is the CEO of Xcyte Digital. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is XCYT on the TSX Venture. And Xcyte Digital will be presenting at our upcoming investor conference, Planet MicroCap Showcase, taking place in Las Vegas at the Paris Hotel and Casino, April 30 through May 2nd, 2024. For more information, to meet Randy in one-on-one, see his presentation, please register to attend at planetmicrocapshowcase.com. And with that, Randy, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Great. I'm doing good. Thank you for this.
Absolutely. It's great to have you. And, look forward to hosting you next week. It's actually our first time doing an interview together covering Xcyte Digital. So can you start us off with a quick overview and history of the company?
Sure. So Xcyte Digital was formed in February of 22. We created Xcyte as a result first of the pandemic, but more importantly, with the introduction of some new technologies. One, of course, artificial intelligence, which everybody is the buzzword today, but also for spatial computing. And we had already figured that these would be great technologies to apply to the event industry. So Xcyte Digital is an event tech company. We provide services for virtually any kind of event, from a very small event to very, very large scale events. We do online, virtual, immersive. We also do events in the real world, in the real space, and we do hybrids, combinations of both. We have a managed service staff that can do most of all the work needed to put on an event from beginning to end, and the client basically just has to show up. So that's Xcyte.
Absolutely. Well, look, we host events. We got a little one coming up here in a bit. We use certain tech for in order to make everything happen here as well. So what would you say makes Xcyte Digital's platform unique and different compared to some of your peers out there?
Okay, well, that's really the whole heart of the business, is what makes us unique. And what makes us unique is that we don't have a single platform. We not only do we have our own technology, but we also partner with the top platforms around the world. So what we look for is high quality platforms for a particular business case. And then we partner with them, and then we sell all these different platforms that we're able to have partnerships with under a single subscription. So our client can come in and he can choose the best platform, and it's all included in his one subscription. And maybe the next time he needs to do an event, it's a completely different platform. He gets to choose that platform at that point. So a multi-platform subscription at a very economical cost. That's the base. The second part of it is what's very unique, is that we do all the services. In other words, it's a one-stop shop for everything that has to do with an event. As I said, whether it's a physical event or it's an online event, it's an immersive event, whatever kind of event, we provide all the service space that's needed by the company. So it's kind of a unique proposition in today's world, because most companies offer a single platform that you have to vet technically and then hope that it works for your needs, where in our case, we have many to choose from.
Absolutely. So what's your background? I mean, prior to being CEO of Xcyte Digital?
Well, I started in the tech world. I was with Northern Telecom, which became Nortel, IT&T, Modular Computers, Siemens. And then I decided, I was in engineering capacities, and I realized I wasn't going to get rich being an engineer or even an engineering manager. So I decided to make a career move, and I became a salesman with an old company called Western Union. And within basically 1 year of joining the company, I made the largest sale in Western Union's 135-year history. I actually convinced them to upgrade a network and become a credit card transaction processor. They had a pervasive network that could do that. While I was at Western Union, I decided to create a software product that allowed the newly introduced IBM PC to actually do two things at the same time. One, the standard use, whatever spreadsheet or word processing software they were using, but also run in the background where it could do communications. And back then, there was no internet for email and all that kind of thing. It had to be done on a different kind of network. So we created a software that allowed it to communicate with other devices. At the time, one of those devices was a cash register, and the other device we could communicate with was the headquarters mainframes. And so we could pull data from the cash register, create reports, and send it on up into the mainframes. We took the company was called SK Technologies. We took it public in '86, I think it was, onto the NASDAQ. It reached about an $80 million market cap. And we remained in that business for a number of years. About 7 or 8 years later, I decided to make a career shift and I created a company called Visual Data Corporation. In Visual Data, we were at the very beginning of the internet. Effectively, we were really targeting interactive television, which never took off, but the internet came our way and it was the perfect fit. We decided to design and develop capabilities to stream video online, not using some of the current players, but more importantly, getting the content and then eventually the larger audience capability. And over the years, we created the very first webcasts and both video and audio, and basically the technology used at your conference we developed. So then in about 2004, so we took Visual Data public onto the NASDAQ at a $250 million market cap. We changed the name to OnStream Media at that time, and we acquired a company by that name. And so we were in a lot of different service businesses. And then later on, after a number of years, we decided to divest several of the divisions. We took OnStream private, and then we sold the assets of OnStream to Xcyte, with the exception of the patents that we had created when we first developed the streaming video services. So that's how basically Xcyte got its initial revenue base, which was about $1 million. And we're approaching, after the completion of the transactions that we're doing now, we'll be at about 5 million. And so that's been in the course of about 5 months.
Very good. All right. Well, Randy, to close us out here today, from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's goals that you'd like to see achieved in 2024?
Yeah, well, again, we're going to continue with a very aggressive acquisition strategy to get the rest of the components that we need to be the top-notch event company that we want to be, if not the best, as well as the biggest. That's going to be aggressive. But also, we're going to introduce this multi-platform subscription, which I think is going to create tremendous organic growth. And hopefully by the end of 2024, we're able to qualify potentially for the NASDAQ.
Very good. All right. Well, Randy, with that, where can our audience go and find more information on Xcyte Digital?
www.xcytedigital.com. Xcyte is spelled Xcyte.
Very good. Well, Randy, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe, and we'll see you in Vegas.
Okay. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Robert.